Welcome to another tech vid. Today, I'll show you how to set up the Sophos NDR sensor in Amazon Web Services. Once configured, Sophos NDR reports all detection data to the Threat Analysis Center in Sophos Central by using a span port to scan traffic generated from your AWS environment. Today, I'll show you how to set up the Sophos NDR integration in Sophos Central. Then, I'll demonstrate how to prepare and deploy a CloudFormation template in AWS, which includes creating a stack, mirroring traffic to send data to the NDR sensor, and editing security groups. Lastly, I'll show you how to set an appliance password and access the Sophos Appliance Manager, which lets you manage and troubleshoot the NDR integration. Before starting, you need a Sophos NDR integration license pack. You also need an AWS account. Ensure you're using a supported EC2 instance to deploy the NDR sensor. We currently support the instances shown, but refer to the documentation linked in the description for the most up-to-date information. You also need a VPC created in your respective region with subnets and availability zones. The VPC assigned to your appliance will be the VPC you'll monitor traffic on. We recommend that you create a separate SSH key pair to connect the NDR EC2 instance. As part of the setup process, you'll assign a security group that allows SSH into the integration appliance. We suggest you create a new security group specifically for this. And finally, you need at least one unallocated elastic IP address to use with the NDR management interface. Refer to our linked documentation for further information. In Sophos Central, go to the Threat Analysis Center and open the Integrations Marketplace. Select Sophos NDR, then click Add Configuration. In here, you'll populate the information and settings to generate a CloudFormation template that's deployed in AWS. Enter a name for the integration. The description is optional. Then, create a new appliance to use with your NDR integration. Give the appliance a name. Note, this name must be unique. Once again, the description is optional. For the virtual platform, select AWS. Once selected, you'll notice the network settings fields have disappeared. This is because the network settings are managed directly within AWS. Lastly, indicate any domains or protocols that should be excluded from detections. You can set up your exclusions later, but you must enter the list name now. Note that the list name must be unique for each NDR integration. In this example, I'll exclude the domain sophos.com and the multicast DNS protocol. Once done, scroll back up and click Save. At this point, a CloudFormation JSON file will be created for you to deploy in AWS. This may take a few minutes. To download the file, find the new integration. Under Integrations, go to Configured. Open the Integration Appliances tab. If you have a lot of integrations, you can search for the NDR appliance. Click the ellipsis on the right. Once the image is created, the Download Image option is selectable and you can click on it. You're now ready to deploy this in AWS. Head over to the AWS Marketplace and search for Sophos NDR. Select the Sophos Integration Appliance. All details about this integration are included here, so take some time to review this if needed. Click on View Purchase Options. Sophos provides this appliance at no additional cost, but be aware that the standard AWS infrastructure costs will apply. The EULA is also available for you to review here. When you're ready, click Subscribe. Once the request completes, click Launch Your Software. Now you can configure the new appliance. For software version, there should only be one option at any given time, but if multiple choices appear, select the latest available version. Then choose the region to deploy the appliance. Click Continue to Launch. Under Choose Action, choose Launch CloudFormation and click Launch, which will bring you to the CloudFormation section of AWS. Now you're ready to create a new stack. Since you're creating a stack from a Sophos template, click Choose an existing template. Then select Upload a template file, then attach the JSON file downloaded earlier from Sophos Central. Then click Next. Specify the stack details, starting with a name. Your specific environment may differ from my example, so make sure to configure your settings accordingly. Ensure you select the VPC you want to monitor traffic on using the appliance. Then choose your respective subnets. Note, the subnet for the management interface must be public and accessible via SSH. Access restriction can be configured via security groups. For syslog, select the subnet you'd like to use for your syslog interface. This is required if you plan on creating future log collectors. This can be modified later. For span, ensure that the subnet you select interfaces with the EC2 instances you wish to monitor. Next, select a security group. You can use an existing group or create a new one specifically for this, which we recommend doing. This security group needs to allow SSH access to the appliance. You can also configure the group to limit SSH access. Lastly, add the SSH key to access the NDR EC2 instance. As stated earlier, we recommend you create a separate key specifically for this. Click Next. Now, you can optionally add tags and adjust other settings if desired. I'll leave these as the default. Finally, review your configuration, and when ready, click Submit. The NDR sensor will now be created. This process can take up to 5 minutes. Once completed, you'll see the status shows complete. You may need to refresh the list to see the changes. If you return to Amazon EC2, you can view the new instance. Under Resources, go to Instances, Running. You'll see the new Sophos data collector in the list. With the NDR sensor now created, go to your VPC console on AWS to set up traffic mirroring. By default, the CloudFormation template has automatically created a mirror filter and mirror target to get you started. To view these, scroll down to the Traffic Mirroring section and click Mirror Filters. The NDR Traffic Mirror filter has been added. Click on the radio button to view the details. By default, all traffic is mirrored. If you wish, you can set up filters to exclude specific protocols, so configure this according to your needs. If you go to Mirror Targets, you'll also see that the NDR span target has been created. Now go to Mirror Sessions and create a new traffic mirror session. For this to function correctly, a separate session must be created for each instance you wish to monitor. If you have many instances, we recommend that you set up a single point for traffic to flow through to simplify the mirroring process. Enter a name tag. Next, indicate the mirror source from the list. This is the network interface you want to mirror network traffic from. For mirror target, choose the NDR span target that was automatically created by the CloudFormation template. Now, enter a session number. Each session must have a unique number. Be aware that this determines the order to evaluate sessions from the same source. For VNI, enter 1. Packet length can be left blank. For filter, choose the NDR traffic mirror filter that was also created by the template. Lastly, add any additional tags if needed. Click Create. And now, the new session appears in the list. Let's carry on. You'll now edit the AWS security group to grant access to the Sophos Appliance Manager, where you'll be able to manage the NDR appliance. Scroll down to Network and Security and click Security Groups. You'll see several groups created by the CloudFormation template. Select the Internal Management SG group. Open the Inbound Rules tab. Click Edit Inbound Rules and add a rule. Leave the type as Custom TCP. Set the port range to 82443. For source, choose My IP in the list. If you need to allow more management access to the appliance, include the details here. Then click Save Rule. Note, you may also need to edit the internal syslog SG group. For this example, I'll leave the settings unchanged, but refer to our linked documentation for further information. And this completes the configuration in Amazon EC2. Return to Sophos Central. In the case of AWS, login credentials aren't generated automatically when you set up the NDR integration. You'll now set a password so you can access and manage the appliance. Find your integration. You may need to refresh the list. Here you can see the sensor is connected and healthy. Click the ellipsis and go to Open Appliance Manager. Choose Reset It and reset the password. The credentials are only shown once, so make sure to store these securely. Once done, click OK. Lastly, I'll show you how to access the Sophos Appliance Manager to manage and troubleshoot your integration. In the same dialog box, click Open. Allow the connection and log in with your credentials. Here you can see information about the NDR appliance. In the upper right, the sensor status is shown, and you can see it's connected to Sophos Central. In the Status tab, you can monitor the system usage. Open the NDR tab to view the network traffic flowing to the appliance. If you want, you can also run queries to view current traffic. Go to NDR Query. Click Example Queries. For instance, I'll try viewing the flow record count. Copy this in and run the query. And here you can see the result. And as another example, I'll try viewing the top downloads. For more information about the Sophos Appliance Manager, refer to our linked documentation. And that completes the deployment of the Sophos NDR sensor in AWS. I hope this video was useful. Relevant documentation for this video is linked in the description. Go to the Sophos community to engage with Sophos experts and have your questions answered. And visit Sophos TechVids to learn more helpful tips and get the most out of your products. Thanks for watching.